Well, here we are. Welcome back. Um, I gotta figure out what's going on with my video, why it's not so clear. I will look into that. So, after last night, with the things I talked about, there are a lot of things I need to get off my chest. There's a lot of stories that I have that I need to really um, come to grips to. And as I've started doing this, there are more things I'm starting to remember. Um, there's a lot of things that I'm going to uh, not be very proud about talking about. I'm not going to get into those right away. That's going to come later. For the first part, I'm going to talk about more of the positive things in my life. So, uh, growing up last night, as I said, I grew up on a farm. Um, and I was part of taking down some of the buildings on the farm. We had a corn barn, we had a tool shed, we had many things, and two corn um, bins that we demolished, that were part of a field. Uh, it was there was a lot that I did on the farm that I'm very proud of, and removing those structures were things that needed to be done. We had what we called the tool shed. We had um, another building that housed the tractors and everything. We had a farm mall from the 40s. We had a case tractor from the 60s. We had a John Deere front loader from the 60s as well, and then we had another John Deere from the 70s. I learned early on how to change the gears in our planter. And if you think about that, there are different gears you need to use for different seeds. This is why I'm doing this channel. I'm remembering things that I have not thought about in years. I've not thought about this, but there were a lot of things that I learned early on that um, have carried through for for all of my life at this point. We'll leave it at that. Um, but no, it's just learning how to do that, learning how to change things on disk, going out and using the impact wrench on the what is the word for it? I want to say field chisel, but it's not. It's something else. But after my dad had purchased that at an auction, I went out and changed out all of the elements of that, and that was not an easy job. That I don't want to say sucked, but it kind of did. Uh, But you know, we we had a lot of things that happened that had to be taken care of. And as I've said before, part of how I was raised is that. Yeah, and Jinx is gonna make an appearance again. Hi, Jinx. Jinx says hi. As I said last night, she's not a fan of me being on here. She would rather me not be talking, but she's a good kitty. I love her very very much, don't I? Yeah, 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 yeah. But anyway, so getting back to the story, uh, so I was raised that I could use many things. There were some things that I did. Um, I when I was in grade school, I built battleships, which were basically wood things that floated with nails in them to make them look like guns. And I sold them, not for much, like 60, 70 cents tops. Uh, and, just being able to use the tools and knowing that I was trusted with that was kind of cool. I haven't thought about building those ships in years. It's because of this channel I'm starting to get back some of my memories that I haven't thought about in a long time. And I thank you for that. But yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. I'm just going to say this right now. I'm anxious for tomorrow. I have not auditioned for a show since 2018. I just auditioned for a show. I'm supposed to hear the results tomorrow. And I really hope that I get it. Uh, because it's a show that is only two actors for the entire show. Um, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. So I I I don't know what to think at this point. I think I did all right at audition. Do I think I could I could have been done better? Yes. Um, I don't know. I don't know at this point. But that's just one of those things. All right. So, as I said, growing up on the farm, obviously we had a barn, we had a hayloft. Uh, there was a rope that we had that came down, you know, in the loft. Uh, I'm assuming it was for, if you had to stack hay bales or straw higher. And, one of the fun things to do as a kid was to use that rope and be, like Tarzan and ride it and jump off on it onto the hay bales. That was a fun thing to do. I I remember doing that a lot growing up. Uh it I mean, by today's standards, was that dangerous? Probably. But at the other side of things, was it really that dangerous? No. I was landed on something that was going to, you know, be safe. All right. That being said, have I done dangerous things in my life? Yes. I built a ramp. Um, as I said, I was allowed to use tools. I was allowed to use a lot of stuff that at the age I was at, probably I shouldn't have been allowed to use. But um, I did build a ramp and I used my bike on it. Well, there was one day I used that ramp and I landed badly on my BMX bike. And I I'm not sure how long I was unconscious for. I'm thinking a minute, maybe a minute and a half. It may have been longer. I to this day I have no idea. And it's just one of those things. I took chances when I was young. I have more to tell about this stuff as well, but I remember that day very well. Um, well, truthfully, I haven't remembered it until I started doing this. So, but yeah, it was interesting. It was, well, maybe interesting is not the right word, but it's memorable at this point in my life that I yeah, I did something I shouldn't have. And in this day and age, it would not be approved of. You know, there's something to be said about that. Just here's my take on it. We now live in a world that does not let children be children. We try to coddle them way too much. Way too much. Let them be kids. Let them experience things. Let them learn from what they are doing. I guess that's part of my lesson with doing this channel is let your children learn. Have I coddled my children too much? Probably. Uh, that's that's something I'm gonna have to live with. But if someone else can learn from this, and this is one of the reasons I'm doing this channel, is to let people learn from my mistakes, to learn how we need to be as human beings, to let go what needs to be let go, to learn from our mistakes so we don't make those mistakes again. I have a lot of mistakes that unfortunately I'm going to be disclosing on this channel. Um, I want to get through some more good things first before I get to those. But yes, I have a lot of confessions to make. I have a lot of things I should get off my chest and deal with. Um, I will say, since I've admitted to that and worked on getting better on things, my relationship with my family, including my ex and my ex family and my kids, have gotten better. Is it perfect yet? No. It's I'm giving them space to deal with things. Uh my youngest is the one that has responded first to it. My son has never wavered. He's been amazing through everything. Um, my ex and I have uh, I don't want to say a good relationship, but we are cordial to each other. We help each other. We we do a well, we do talk a lot. She's still my best friend, as I've said before. She's still my best friend to this day. But my oldest is the one that really hurts me that I don't have a relationship with her right now. But as I said, those are stories for another day. But just a little more background story on me. Thank you for watching. I see I have several viewers. I've got two subscribers right now. Please subscribe so you get announcements of when I do this. But thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. As I said, this is more therapy for me than going to a therapist, to tell you the truth. I am enjoying a lot just talking about my life, and it's really helping me remember a lot of things. So thank you for all of that, and peace out, man.